listen. Will you guys remind me? Because you know I'll forget. Thank you. All right, hold up your whiteboards. Let's see, my friends at home, hold up your notebooks. I see lots. I see table of contents. I see, what's that say, Jordan? But you used a bar graph to help you with it. It was in a nonfiction book. I love that. Pictures or illustrations. Braden, what did you say? Table of contents. I see photographs. What else? Headings, a map. Yes, we used a map the other day with our Native Americans, the Iroquois and the Algonquian and the Siouan. Bold words, good. Subheadings, nice, Liliana. Fantastic. All right, you can put that down. So I have a quick video for you, and then we're going to go through a PowerPoint. While you're watching this video, I want you to jot down one thing that you think is important from what they said, okay? So you got to be listening. Thumb up if you know what you're going to be jotting down. It can be caveman talk. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence. So one thing that you think that the video mentioned that was important about what we're learning. Addison, do you mind getting the lights for me?
What?
Let's talk about nonfiction text features.
When you click the full screen thing, it takes forever.
Text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you're reading. These text features can also help you decide which pieces of information are the most helpful to you. Titles are usually located at the top of the page or front cover. They tell you what the book, article, or chapter is called. Some books and articles have subtitles. The subtitle gives more information about the title. The beginning of a nonfiction book or article often has a table of contents. The table of contents tells you on what page each chapter or section begins. Nonfiction materials use lots of tools to share information. Charts, graphs, and tables organize data and statistics to make it easier to read. Photographs and illustrations often have captions underneath them. Captions give more information about the picture. A diagram is a simple drawing that shows the parts of something or how it works. Diagrams have labels that tell you.
That is a great picture of a diagram. It's showing a microscope. Has anyone seen a microscope in person before? Yeah, they're pretty cool. And you look through, yeah, and it kind of makes things that are really small look bigger. And do you see how there are different labels? Here's the arm, the base, the body tube. A diagram will always have the parts labeled so you can better understand what you're looking at, because not everyone has seen a microscope before. So that's why those labels are there to help you.
What each part is called. Some nonfiction materials have maps. A map shows where something is located. A timeline shows the order of when things happened. Timelines are often used with historical events. Nonfiction materials often use bold and italic letters to draw attention to important words. Bold words are made with dark, heavy lines. Words in italics are slanted. Sometimes the bold and italic words can be found in the glossary at the end.
Where is the glossary found? The beginning of the book or the end of the book? Say it.
End of the book.
End of the book. It's in the back. Very good, my friends online. The end of the book.
End of the book. The glossary is like a mini dictionary that gives definitions of the keywords found in the book. The index is usually the very last page of the book or article. It tells you on what pages you can find important information or keywords.
Notice the difference between what the glossary looked like and the index. No definitions on the index, just page numbers, which give you the pages that this word will be found. So if I only want to read about its legs, what pages am I going to go to, everyone? 10 and 11. Good. The eyes, or excuse me, the colors would be 3.
Words in the index are listed in alphabetical order. Nonfiction text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you read. Let's look at the text features we've learned so far. Title, subtitle, table of contents, chart, graph, table, captions, diagram, labels, map, timeline, bold, italic, glossary, index. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, I have to unmute myself. Yes. Not right now, no. Unless it's an absolute, is it an emergency? Yes, you can. Go over there. Go outside. All right, so can everybody hear me now? My friends at home, can you hear me? Okay, good. So I want you to hold up what you wrote down. I want to see what is something important that you found from the video. If you have not written anything down yet, you have about 15 seconds to get something down. My friends at home, you are holding it up. Something that they mentioned in the video that you found to be very important. Bryson, you got it down? Good. My friends in here, hold it up. I'm going to call on 3 folks, 2 in the classroom, 1 online. Let's hear. Alden, why'd you write down index?
Index is like a mini dictionary. So if you don't know any words, you can go to the mini dictionary to see what they are.
Well, the glossary is the mini dictionary. The index gives you the page numbers, but I'm glad you wrote down index because it shows the difference, right? They are different. Bryson, tell us what you wrote down. Yes, raise your hand if you wrote down diagrams. I loved that they gave you a visual of the diagram with the labels. Wonderful. And then someone from Miss Caldwell's class, what did you write down? You guys can put your whiteboards down.
Table of contents, why is it important?
I'm going to look while we're waiting for the response. You guys can erase your board.
Okay, so you said the table of contents is important because you can look up different chapters that are about different things that you want to read about.
Table of contents, you can look up different chapters of different things you want to read about, especially that workbook. Bryson, head up. That workbook, the social studies workbook, can I read that entire workbook in one sitting? My friends in here, put your items down and your eyes are up. I need you fully focused. Thank you. Can I read that entire social studies workbook in one sitting? No, so if I only want to read the Native Americans, I'm going to go to the table of contents and look at the pages or the chapter that they are on. All right, so we are going to go through our nonfiction text features one more time. So I think we need a little more practice. Okay. From the beginning. And we're going to use kind of like a newspaper to help us. So text features. Text features help students understand nonfiction text. Let's see if it'll let me go to the next slide like that. What do you think? Yes. What are text features? I want you to read this in your head as I read it aloud. The author includes text features to help the reader better understand what they have read. Like we've said, It helps you understand the nonfiction text you're reading. It provides information that might not be written in the text itself. So it might not be in the paragraphs, and that's why we have those graphs, those charts, those tables, those maps, those photographs, those pictures. Text features can be found in, read it with me, in textbooks, magazines, articles, newspapers, reports, web pages, and other nonfiction text like a reference book. So it's not just books. You can find nonfiction text features in all of these things as long as it's a nonfiction book. Pretty interesting, right? Okay. What do you see? Everybody, what do you see? Table of contents. Good, my friend. So this is all, chapter 1 is all about animals. And this we even went a little further to tell me within the chapter what pages they talk about the different animal adaptations, foods, habitats. And then chapter 2 is all about what? Plants, yeah. So you can see the difference, right? It outlines the main topics and tells you the page number so you don't have to go flipping through 57 pages just to get to where you're trying to go. It's super helpful, especially if you're reading a textbook, okay? So my question down here that you're going to write on your whiteboard, quick question. Where would a reader find information about where an animal lives? Write it down. Should take you like less than 20 seconds. Where would a reader find information about where an animal lives? You're literally just giving me the page number. My friends at home, do you know what you're giving me? You're just writing down the page number. You have 5 seconds. And up. Where an animal lives. It might be 2 pages. Okay, so it's going to be in chapter 1, right? So, Henry, what did you say?
I said page 3.
Very good. Page 3 is habitats, like where they live. And then also, could you have said page 4 as well? Yeah, so it's pages 3 and 4. Excellent. I'll accept either, but it is on both of these pages. Their habitat is like their environment, and then their homes might be like how they make their homes in their habitat. Very good, Henry. All right, any questions on table of contents? Everybody, where would I look if I only want to know about the types of plants? Say it with me. Page 6. Good, my friends online. All right, erase your whiteboard. On we go. All right. Your index. All right, so we were in the front of the book for table of contents. Now we're where? The back. The index is in alphabetical order, ABC order, and it lists key terms or names or events or topics with their page number. Are all of your index words going to be in bold? No, they will not. Only the glossary has the bold words. Index words are just words that are important. It might be some of the bold words or italicized words, but it's not always going to be, okay? So it helps you to find the pages of important words. So if I wanted to go and read about acid rain, I'm going to go to 396 and 397, okay? If I want to read about Acadia, Canada, I'm going to go to page what? 212 and 213. So my question for you is, I did the question that they had, so we're going to change it. Where would the reader find information about the Abu Simbel Temple? Write down that page number. Go. Don't say it out loud. Write it on your whiteboard. The Abu Simbel Temple. What page number am I going to go to? That word is a place, and it is found in the index. Please write the page number. 5 seconds. Let's go. My friends at home, you can hold it up on your screen when you're ready. Hold it up, 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 up. Make sure we are paying attention. Axel, what page? 73. Thumb up if you agree, my friends at home. Did you write 73 as well? Yes. Pretty simple. And the index is found in the back of the book. It's usually found after.
Please put your camera on.
Thank you, Miss Caldwell. It's usually found after the glossary. Sometimes there won't be an index, though. Okay? So it's not always going to be there. My next page. Erase your board if you have not. Oh, it gives you the answer. That's why. Yeah. Uh-huh. Ah, yes. So Addison brought up a good point. She said, one time I read a fiction story that had a table of contents. A lot of fiction chapter books have table of contents. They have the chapters. You're exactly right. So you will find that in a lot of fiction books. Good point. Your glossary. All right. We've talked a lot about glossary. Where is your glossary found? Front or back? Glossary? Back. Table of contents is the front. Back. Very good. Your table of contents is in the front. Your glossary and your index are in the back. Okay. And your glossary is also listed in ABC or alphabetical order. Okay. All your A words, then your B words, then your C words. Each keyword is defined, and those words will be in bold in the book. Okay. The reader uses the glossary to look up key terms to find out the meaning. It's like a mini dictionary. And I like how Scholastic, they have their glossary on the bottom, like usually right corner of the page, right? And they highlight and they bold their words. So, my question for you, and it says acid rain. Let's read the definition of acid rain. Let's all read it together. My friends at home, take yourself off mute. We're going to read the definition of acid rain. You ready? And this is the pronunciation of how I would say acid rain. This is not how you spell acid rain. This is how you would pronounce or say it. Ready? Rain that carries certain kind of pollution. Acid rain is not good for the environment. It's very bad. Why does it? I don't know how it starts. We're gonna have to look. Maybe we can look that up after. Yeah, and then adapt to change in order to survive in new environments. All right, my friends, you can put yourself back on mute if you're at home. My question for you that you are gonna respond. This one is gonna take a sentence. It's not just a word. How would the glossary help the reader understand text about animal adaptations? If you were reading the book about animal adaptations, how would the glossary better help you to understand it? Write your sentence. Go. You've got about 45 seconds this time because this is a little longer. That question is right at the bottom. Right here. Your question, my friends at home, is in red at the bottom left corner. Show me with your fingers how much time you need, 0 or 1. Let's do like 30 seconds. My friends at home, just like Natalie, when you're ready, you can pull it up on the screen. Not pull it up on the screen, but put it up on the screen. Good. I see Alden's response. I see Natalie. I see Kendrick and Aiden M and Alexis. All right, Layla, I want to hear what you said. How would the glossary help you better understand animal adaptations? My friends at home or in here, please hold up your whiteboard.
Well, I said that throughout the story, if you see words that you don't you don't know what the meaning is, then you can go to the glossary and it could help you better understand what the page was about with
Yeah,
the word.
that word. And is adaptation a hard word? I think so. I think it's hard to understand, right? It's a difficult word. You guys can put your whiteboards down. So I didn't know what an adaptation or what it means to adapt is. I'm going to go to the glossary. And an adaptation is to kind of change in your environment. What does camouflage mean? Do you know what camouflage means? Blend in, right? Or change. So that is how a chameleon will adapt in its environment. It changes to a camouflage to protect itself. Juan, head up. So it's going to help you to understand and know more about animal adaptations. All right. Erase your board. Let's see what they said. The reader would understand animal adaptations better because the glossary tells you what it means to adapt. Okay, titles. Titles are super important. Titles tell you what the book's going to be about. The title of the page or like a heading tells you what the page is going to be about. You can see a bunch of different titles. These are all what? These are all newspapers. Raise your hand if newspapers are not as common anymore, but raise your hand if you have seen a newspaper or read a newspaper before. All of you have, just because you did the mini pages. We are not looking at our whiteboard or playing with our whiteboard right now. Put the marker down. Thank you. Ryan, you as well. So that tells you, do I want to read this section of the newspaper or not? It tells you the topic. It tells you the main idea. It helps you by letting the reader know what they're going to be reading about. And it focuses on the topic so you can make connections. Are titles usually very long? No, they're short and sweet, quick and to the point. So my question for you is, what do the titles of the articles in these newspapers tell you? And I'm going to read some of those. If you can't see, it says, space age is here. Man-made moon. USSIA wins the race into outer space. Satellite heard by millions. What is the topic of all of these? That is my question for you. Write it down. Go. All of these headings titles have to do with what? Go ahead. What do they all have to do with? These are all titles in a newspaper. What do they tell you? What are they all about? That's not telling you what they are all about. I did not ask you to just rewrite the title. What are they all? What they all have what in common? Think about their similarity. What do they all have in common? Okay, hold it up, my friends at home. What do they all? So it says man-made moon. USA wins the race into outer space. Space age is here. Satellite heard by millions. Hold up your whiteboard, my friends. What does it all have to do with Jordan? Space. Yes, my friends at home, let's see what you wrote. Sebastian, what did you say? It all has to do with what? I see a lot of our friends said space. You're exactly right. Sebastian, do you agree that it has to do with space? Yes, very good. My friends in here, you can erase your board. The titles all talk about space, so the articles are all about space. It's not going to say something about space and then I'm going to be reading about kittens, am I? No, it's going to have to do with what I'm going to be reading about. Subheadings. Subheadings. So, subheadings are smaller headings within a section. Your Scholastic magazine does a great job of using subheadings. Let me see if I can pull this up on the camera. So you've got and we talked about this last week. You've got your 3 subheadings within your heading here, right? Your subheadings are on your Scholastic. They're a little bit smaller, but they're still darker, either in black or in the color that's decided. So we've got 2 subheadings here. What does this first one say, everybody? Helpful ants. And then I'm just going to read to you what is under the subheading. Although ants are frustrating when they get in homes, ants do help the environment. They help control the population of damaging pests such as termites. What did we read about termites last week, right? Yeah. So don't go and smush that ant when you see it. There is a purpose for it. Did that tell us why ants are helpful? Yes, it did. So it went with its subheading. Types of ants. Someone at home, does anyone want to read about the types of ants for me? Let's hear it. 8 and M. And I want you guys to follow along.
Types of ants. Types of ants include fire ants, which cause a painful sting, and a carpenter ant, which damage wood structures while nest building. Other ants include honey, pharaoh houses, and Argentine, and the thief ant.
Very good. You did good with some of those difficult words. So it told me a bunch of different types of ants, right? Has anyone ever been bit by a fire ant? Raise your hand. Oh, it burns, and it burns for a while. And then I don't know if you guys, if this happens to you, but if I'm bit on the foot, it swells. Like where I was bit, it swells up and it gets all red and irritated. And then it itches. So, yes, fire ants are not fun. This gave me a bunch of different types of ants. So it went with my subheading. Let's see what this says. Where would the reader look to find out about a fire ant? You need to write down, am I going to look under the helpful ants subheading, or am I going to look for under the types of ants subheading? You tell me. Write it down. Yep, write it down on your whiteboard or in your notebook. If I want to know about a fire ant, which subheading am I going to look under? You're writing down one of the 2 subheadings. And 5 seconds left. Keep going, yeah. Hold it up. Brayden, where am I going to look? Types of ants. Thumb up if you agree with him, my friends at home. He said types of ants. Yes. Hold yours up on the screen so I can see you wrote it down. Good. Looks like we've lost some people. Oh, they're there. All right, good. Erase your board. And yes, you are correct. All right, text words. Text is writing. Not text like we text, but text like writing. We've got bold words. Sometimes you'll see words that are in different colors. Have you ever seen that? Yes. Or sometimes you see those slanted or italicized words. Okay. So the style or the color sends a message to you, the reader, like this is an important word. We want this word to stand out. Please pay attention to this word. That's why they'll do that. And we know that bold words are also found where? Everybody say it with me. The glossary. So that's another purpose for the bold word. So the wetlands of the South, this is darker, and this is like our subheading, so it's darker. Why are the South's wetlands so important? Do you know how this is italicized? Yes. This is slanted, it's italicized. The Okefenokee Swamp is a large wetland in the south. A wetland is a place where the ground is soaked with water for at least part of the year. So that word wetland is in bold. Very good. All right. How do the words in the italics help the reader understand the text? So how does this sentence this question in italics, why are the South's wetlands so important? How is that going to help me? Write it down. That's your response. That's my question for you. How is that going to help me? It says, how do the words in italics help the reader understand the text? And as you can see, why are the South's wetlands so important is my italicized question. How does that help me? Why did they put that in italicized font or italics? Okay, you've got about 45 seconds to write your response. Good. I love how I can see everyone at home writing this down. Justin Lawson, please sit down. I should see you writing your response. I do not want to see you up again. Please find a spot where you can work and do your best without disruptions or distractions. And hold it up when you're ready. Miss Caldwell's class, hold it up when you're ready. And then Miss Caldwell's class, I want to hear what someone in one of your friends said. I need you all to hold it up. I want to see. Juan, hold it up when you're ready. Miss Caldwell, did you hear me? Miss Caldwell, I think you are on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, Samuel said that the italics help you understand more about what you're reading.
More about what you are reading. And the words in italics help the reader focus the reader on the question that they're talking about. So in this case, why are the wetlands so important? That's what I'm going to learn in the next part. So it's going to answer my question. Erase your board. Photographs and illustrations. What is the difference between a photograph and an illustration? A photograph, hold up your fake camera, everybody, is taken by a what? Camera. Everybody, my friends at home, hold up your fake camera. This is a photograph. My friends, now an illustration. Everybody pretend like you're drawing. You are the illustrator. You are drawing. That is a picture or an illustration. My friends at home, I should love it how you're pretending to draw. There is a difference. A photograph is real. An illustration or a picture is not. Right. All right. So we've got, are these photographs or illustrations? You can take yourself off mute. My friends in here, you can say it. What are these? These look like photograph. It's kind of hard to see. This one looks like a photograph, and this one kind of looks like an illustration. But you know the difference. Yeah. I'm not gonna have you respond to that one. Yes.
What if they took a picture of the bird and it's real, but it's still like a picture, and they turn into a portrait?
Then that would be an illustration. Yeah, if someone's drawing, it's an illustration. Good question. Captions. We find a caption next to a photo or an illustration. So this shows, read it with me. These gold coins were found on the ocean floor. So now I've just learned I'm not just looking at random gold coins. I'm looking at gold coins that were found at the bottom of the ocean floor. How does this caption help the reader understand the picture? I want you to tell me, I'm going to change the question a little bit. What is the why do we have captions? That's what you're responding on your whiteboard. What is the why do we have captions underneath or to the side of pictures and photographs? Go. Why do we have captions? What is the purpose? What's the purpose of a caption? Bryson, you thinking? Why do we find how do captions help us? Remember, a caption is found underneath or to the side of a photograph or a picture. Why do we have a caption to help us? And like we talked about in this one, it shows the village. All right, someone at home, raise your hand if you would like to share what you wrote. Thais, your hand shot up. Why do we have captions? My friends in here, hold up your whiteboard.
We have captions, well, because captions help us to find like what page we want to read on.
No, not a page. That's table of contents. You should be watching the screen. It shows it right up here. Alexis, help her out. What is the purpose of a caption? How does it help us?
It gives you more information.
About the photograph or the picture. A photograph will have a caption. A picture will have a caption. They're like peanut butter and jelly. They go together. All right, erase your board. It explains that the coins are from the bottom of the ocean. That's what that caption explains. Textbook. I'm going to skip over this one. Maps. Maps. We saw a map the other day in our workbook, and I'm going to point it out to you guys when we get off the Zoom. So here is a map. This map, and usually with a map, it has a title, so I know what kind of map I'm looking at. This is a map of the United States of America. Maps are drawings that show the basic shape of land. You might have a map of the North Carolina, a map of the world, a map of the United States, a map of just Wilmington. It could be any location. I have a ton of maps right here. Yeah. So these all show me different locations, and it's going to go with what you're reading. So, how would a map of the United States help the reader to understand an article about Texas? I am pointing to Texas. My friends at home with my arrow, my friends at school, here's Texas, and I'm going to show you where Texas is on my map. How would this map help me understand a book about Texas? Go. This is one of your last responses. So there's Texas. Big. One of the biggest states in the United States. How would this map on the screen help me to understand a book that I'm reading about Texas? How is this map right here going to help me? Axel, you should be writing this down. Put that away. It is not going to help you right now. How is this map, this actual map, going to help me to understand something about Texas? Why would they put that in the book?
I really want to know this coming.
Hold it up. Axel, let's go. Come on. That's why we got to be focused. Hold it up. Hold it up, Bryson. Juan, once you're done. My friends at home. So, Bryson, how is this map going to help me to understand Texas? Good. Maybe its size and its location, like where it is in the United States. Put your right pinky in the air if you agree with Bryson. That is perfect. Let's see what they say. The map can help the reader understand where Texas is located or how the location relates to the text. Fantastic. All right. Next one. Erase your board. Diagram. So remember, in the video, they did the diagram of the microscope. What do we have a diagram of here?
A volcano.
A volcano, yes. Which you guys read about in the beginning of the year when we were full on virtual, right?
Yeah.
Volcanoes when we were doing rocks and minerals and science. So this volcano also has labels. I know I'm going to read the labels to you guys because I know it's hard to see. This is the gases and the ashes. That's the lava. Here is the crater. There's the vent. There is the sill. And here's the magma that's down below. And these are the different layers, okay? So each part of the volcano is labeled for you. How could this diagram help the reader understand about volcanoes? How does this diagram with its labels help you as the reader to better understand volcanoes? Write your response on your whiteboard. Go ahead. Justin, I'm calling on you next, so I hope you're writing down. I will be making a phone call to Dad today. This is very unfortunate. Please take out your notebook or your whiteboard if you do not have it and write your response down to the question, Justin. Oh, you're good, but we should not be talking to other friends right now. So that question at the bottom, it says, how could this diagram help me as the reader to understand volcanoes? Everyone else, you are doing a fantastic job of focusing and participating. I love it. My friends in here, 20 seconds enough?
I'm done.
So how is this diagram going to help me? We've got about 2 more minutes.
In the Zoom.
In the Zoom, yep. And hold it up. Juan, how does this help me? Hold it up, my friends in here. Hold it up. Bryson, Jordan, yeah. How does this help me, Juan? Excellent. It helps you to understand the different parts of the volcano and where they are. One's at the gases come out the top. The magma is at the bottom. Good. Anything else to add, my friends online? Is there anyone else that wants to add to that? Nope. I think you said it well. Good. Erase your board. Last question for the day. Tables. I don't love this picture of these tables. Let's see what's. Yeah, that's okay. All right. So a table is kind of like a graph. It shows you different, usually maybe population or different numbers. This is kind of an interesting version of a table. And I know it's hard to see you guys, my friends in the classroom, but these are different mountains. And here are the types of mountains. And then it shows, oh, these are different volcanoes. I'm sorry. And their eruptions, how often they have erupted. So these are all different names of volcanoes. So my question, this is your exit ticket. How would a table about volcano eruptions help the reader understand volcanoes? So how would this help me to better understand volcano eruptions? Remember, this is showing the different volcanoes. And when you see one of these, that means that's how many times it has erupted. So a table organizes large amounts of information in a small amount of space. You'll see different numbers and data and amounts. I'll let you go once we're done with this, okay? So your exit ticket is right below. How would this table help me as the reader to better understand volcanoes and its eruptions? I'm actually going to have you guys, well, you'll just rewrite it on your sticky. Write it on your sticky because I want to collect
Yeah,
this.
Aiden, write it in the chat.
My friends at home, I would like for you to write this question in the chat. While you're doing that, this is just a reminder, your vocabulary test needs to be taken either today or tomorrow. You need to take both the read and respond and the quiz. It's due by tomorrow, but you can take it today. When you're done with your exit ticket, you're gonna write it in the chat. My friends in the classroom, I want you to just put your name and number on it when you're done and stick it right on the front table. Okay?
Also, boys and girls, if you do not have the sheet of paper that I gave out on Friday of the word problems for our live lesson, please make sure you write them down. They're on the schedule.